Good morning, everybody. We'll be starting in just a few seconds. There we go. All right, there's that. Here's that. All right. Let's get this party started, shall we? Just got to share my screen and we will get started. All right, we're almost there, folks. All right, turn on my video camera and say hello to everybody. Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. We got David, we got Zen Master, we got CJ, we got Armulfo, we got Sandra, Carrie, Ivano, Omar, David, Rich. Good morning, Rich, Pat, Jill, Dennis, Pops. I like that. Pops is in the house. That's what I call my dad, Pops. Jody, Wardog, Dr. Serena, the Sassy Trainer's in. Um, let's see. Got so many people coming in here. Manuel, Charlie. Good morning, Charlie. I hope you're feeling better. Darren, Dave, Terrence, Motown Guy, Tom. Good morning, Cam. Glenn, Eagle Beagle. Good morning, Eagle Beagle. Stacy, Wade, Wayne, Tony. I was worried you were getting show at 50. I was getting worried you were getting slow at 54. Good morning, Roddy. Devin, John, Ali. Good morning, Ali. Haven't seen you in a while. Michael, Deborah, Jack, Jeff, Moondog. Moondog is in the house. I love that. And I hope you're feeling well, Moondog. Let's see. Pam, Sarah, Richard, Henry, Timothy, Robert, Jennifer, Scott, Ray, Michael, Keith, Benjamin, a key Hawk fan, Dave, Heather. Good morning, Heather. Mike, JB, Dave, Krish, Frankie, Angie's in the house. Randy, Kirk, Rochelle, Kirk, no more giving away trades, or I'll cut you. I'll cut you from this broadcast. I now know how to. I now have the power to block anybody. No more monkey business. Terry, Edgar, Philip, Stephen, Shen, Louie. Good morning, and good morning, everybody. Gustavo, good morning. Wow, we got almost 200 people here in less than 2 minutes. I'll be starting in about a minute. I want to make sure you guys can see my screen. Hold on. Let's see here. All right. Let me make sure you guys can see my screen. Okay, we're good. Dr. Serena, yeah, look at that. Okay, so let's get started. Yeah, you should be able to see my screen okay. All right. I have a lot to talk about with you guys. And here's the thing. Please do me a big favor, guys. Don't get political on me. This is not political. This is if I talk about politics, the only reason I'm talking about politics, Richard Feinberg, good morning, Rebecca, Kenny, is because it impacts the market. I don't care about the political decision. Number one. Number two, don't forget, we have a great resource for all of you, especially for all of you who are new here. It's called Customer Service Live. We also call it affectionately the Cam and Gustavo Show because, well, that's what it is. And I'm going to tell you something. If you're looking for tech support, go to them. Don't go to me. I'm useless. If I have a tech support question, I'm going to ask them, okay? And I have Matt. So I am as useless as it can be for tech support. I'm really good for trading, but I'm really bad for tech support. So I'm not the guy to. But Cam and Gustavo Show, they got you guys covered. I just posted the link here. Number two, I will be in my VIP room and I'll be talking about a lot of really cool things today. Um, I didn't sleep a lot this morning because we woke up an hour early because of the time change. If you guys haven't changed your clock, please do. I don't like time changes. I wish they got done of them. But anyhow, here we are. I was able to do some extra work, and I will be live tomorrow talking about how to win how to win on a market, regardless of where the stock is going to go, up or down. No matter who wins the election, we can win both ways with one of my favorite strategies. It doesn't require you to nail the direction of the stock. And I'll even have a special trade for everyone in attendance. That's happening tomorrow. Oh, it's okay. It's okay, Elizabeth. I totally understand. I totally understand. It's bugging everybody. Harry, good morning. Ricky, good morning. All right, let's begin. So, for anybody that does not know, we have the election tomorrow. From from what I am understanding, um, and again, I don't want to connect the stock market to the election. They are very separate. Yeah, right, Heather. Let's get this party started, right? But again, you got to be careful because you are going to have volatility and you're going to have a lot of unforeseeability. Not as much as you would get with a federal event, unless there's like a war breaking out or anything like that. But for the most part, try not to focus on the connection. Try not to do this. Okay, if President Trump wins, this stock is going to go up. I'm going to buy this stock. If Trump loses, this stock is going to go down. If Harris wins, this sector's don't do that. Don't do that. I have not seen anybody in 31 in next month it'll be 31 years that I'll be doing. No, in 2 months it'll be 31 years that I've been doing this. I have never ever seen anybody make money consistently over time trying to time a stock to the election. Please do not do that, okay? So, Miller, I am too. Please do not do that. Okay. It is a foolish bet. Don't do that. Price action is much better. But as of right now, things are stable. NASDAQ is up about 7 points. The Dow's is up 2 points. There's not a lot of volatility. But as you could see by my shirt, I am expecting high volatility. Good morning, Ben. Welcome. And I hope you had a great weekend. And again, thank you for sending me all the goodies that you've been sending me that I've been sharing with everybody. Money doesn't care about president; it just wants a good time. Yeah, money goes to whoever treats it best. It does has very little loyalty. Money does not have loyalty, folks. I want you to know that. Money goes to whoever treats it well. Okay, remember that. Remember that. Oh, my dogs are going crazy. I can barely hear myself talk. All right, so we do have a stable market in terms of Fed data this week. You've got international trades and goods and services. You've got ISM index, and today you got factory orders at 10 a.m. I am predicting that most of the news this week is not going to be as significant because we have FOMC starting tomorrow, and as most Wednesday, excuse me, and as most of you know, investors don't like to make big bets ahead of the FOMC. It's a foolish mistake, and that's coming out Thursday. I can pretty much assure you that the Fed is going to lower rates half a quarter of a basis point. There's not 99% of what you're going to see here is going to be. Thank you, Dr. Serena. Eagle Beagle says playing election on a single stock put calls gambling without technical. Yes, it is big time. Listen to what Eagle Beagle just said. Yeah, look at that, Dr. Serena. We should start seeing a bigger number of people in this room as of right now because the bullish cycle in the stock market seasonally started, and we're going to get past the election. So I'm expecting more people to start coming in here. It usually happens right around this time of year on the election. If it wasn't the election, it would have actually started happening about a month ago. Okay. Cool, Kevin. Cool. If you guys want to send me a picture of you guys wearing that shirt, you could just say, hey, repost or don't repost. But it's cool to see you guys wearing that shirt. I've gotten about 10 pictures from folks. Here's my email address. You could send it to me. Again, it's up to you, you know. But it's cool to see you guys. It's nice to see you guys and put a face to the same people that I talk to every single day. So again, we can expect a little bit of a lull on Wednesday. It'll be after the election that we won't really have anything figured out yet. We really won't know who won more likely than not by that point. I mean, if you listen to Trump, he's winning in every state right now. So I mean, who knows, right? And we know not to trust the ballots because because remember 2016, every poll was wrong. So it's unless the results are so overwhelming one way or the other, I suggest you don't put too much emphasis into them. Okay. And again, we may have a lull on Wednesday in light of volatility. Okay. And folks, I got a lot to talk about today, and I'm not on a calendar schedule. So earnings this week. Well, I'm gonna share this. I haven't shared this yet. I'm gonna share this with everybody here. And if you don't get it, just send me an email and I'll post it for you guys. And I'll post it also in the VIP room today at noon. Here's the link for that. I'll take a look at XBI. I'm kind of curious myself. I haven't looked at XBI in a while, Heather. Remind me a little later, and I'll get uh, yeah, who actually gets polled, right? I don't know. Nobody asks me. But anyway, you guys have this document so you could see which are the biggest earnings. I decided to just post these because, well, this gives you more than you need to work with. You got Palantir, you got Win, you got AIG, you got O Realty today. Tomorrow, you got Devon Energy. I got a lot to talk about energies. On Wednesday, you have a pretty big day with both SMCI and Qualcomm reporting. Okay. And now we could talk about Dell, guys. Now that we liquidated the position for a profit in the pit, we could talk about Dell. The reason we went long Dell in the pit was because Dell is the biggest competitor to SMCI. And if SMCI's accounting department fired them, that's probably a good sign for their competitor, which is Dell. So that was the reason why I went long Dell for fundamental reasons and technical reasons. Now I could share all that with you guys here. But again, please do not disclose trades that are currently open, or I will block you from here within 3 seconds with pleasure. And I won't think twice. So you got a lot of stocks. You got Qualcomm, you got ARM, you got SMCI, a lot of chip stocks. SMCI, ARM, Qualcomm, and then Thursday, you just have a lot of second tier stocks. When I say second tier stocks, all I mean is they're not mega caps like Nvidia. You guys understand? Yeah, Richard, good man. Uh, mm, I wouldn't do a spread. I wouldn't do that, but I just like what I like. But if you're more than welcome to. And there's no earnings on Friday, but on Thursday you do still have a lot, including Halliburton, Square, Firm, DraftKings, which believe it or not, this is actually a pretty interesting stock. A lot of volume on this stock. Trade Desk, Expedia, Net, and ANET. We do a lot of these stocks. I don't know why, but a lot of these stocks that I'm seeing on Thursday have been on our watch list. I don't know if you guys have noticed. So keep an eye on Thursday, okay? Again, folks, I got a lot to talk about today. This is election week. We have a lot to talk about. So, again, class tomorrow at 1, VIP room at noon. For those who are just coming in here, if you need something put together, help assisting with something, how does the pit work? How does trading dashboard work? What kind of options Rogers picks? I can only imagine how many times Mr. Angus Young, aka Cam White, has gotten those questions. He's probably gotten those questions 10 times more than I have, actually, now that I think about it. And again, if you haven't got this document yet, here it is. And I will be posting it. If you're on the road, don't worry about getting it. I will post it in the Telegram channel. So you will get this document, okay? And you can always email me at roger@rogerscott.com. You see how inaccessible I am to you guys? It's impossible to get a hold of me, right? All right, 10-year note. What do we say about the 10-year note? Well, the 10-year note is up today. It's still not at the 8A line. Look at what happens every time it hits the 8-day EMA. Bounces off. So as far as I'm concerned, we're going to remain bearish on bonds. And I cannot wait. I cannot wait. I'm going to tell you right now, I cannot wait to hear what Powell is going to say about this. I cannot wait. You know what I think he's going to say about it? Nothing. Till somebody asks him in the oh, Mr. Powell, what do you think about the bond market going up on steroids after you lowered rates on the well, you see, it's pretty he's gonna spin it, but watch, he's not even gonna bring it up till somebody brings it up. But this is not great for the housing. This is not great for anything relating to interest rates, including the real estate market, the residential real estate market, and consumer staples. Very bad for consumer staples and very bad for. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. You haven't seen it yet, Carlos? You haven't seen it? Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. The man looks exactly like Angus Young. I'm not kidding. Look. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. I got to find this picture. I posted it in the Telegram channel. I'll do it. I'll repost it. I'll repost it sometimes. Hold on. Let's see if I could find it. I'll post it right now. It is the best picture I've seen. Hold on. I know I posted it here. There it is. Look, tell me this is not Angus Young. Tell me that is not Angus Young. That is Angus Young from AC/DC right there. And I know because I've been a fan for over 30 years. So that is Angus Young from AC/DC right there. I love that picture, Cam. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Okay. So bearish, putting pressure on the stock market. This puts pressure on the stock market, regardless of how you look at it. Good morning, Gordon. Yeah, Cam is awesome. Cam is awesome. All right. So I assumed Wednesday is a normal Fed release day with the presser. Yes. Yes. Yeah, it has nothing to do with the election. The Fed data, remember, two different branches of government, nothing to do with one another. You're going to get a lull on Wednesday, but the problem is you got a lot of earnings on Wednesday. So be careful. We still have earnings season. We still are in full effect. All right, gold market. Remember what I told you about the gold market. If you're long gold, stay long gold. If you're not long gold, wait till we're at the 8-day EMA. We're now below the 8-day EMA. We're still good. If you have a position in gold, I don't think you should be liquidating right now, especially going into this crazy election, right? Hey Buck, how are you? Especially going into this crazy election, I would definitely hold on to some gold. I would definitely, but you may want to lower your exposure a little bit. You may want to lower your exposure, especially if we can't get it up the next 2 days. Okay. And I think one of the reasons why gold is up is prior to the election because there's just so much uncertainty in the world. But if we have a clear winner in the election, we may start seeing a little more downside in gold. And if China starts getting weaker, that may take some a bite out of gold as well too. So again, neutral on gold right now. Not hyper bullish, not hyper bearish, neutral on gold. I don't have any. Well, I'll take a look at silver real quick. I'll take a look at silver. Why not? We haven't looked at silver in a while. Looks like it's just consolidating right around here. It looks like it's consolidating right at the year to quarter to date VWAP. I think the next few days is going to be very important. If it breaks this level, it looks like it's going to go down to the 50-day moving average. If it starts coming up here above the 8-day, the odds are it's going to make a lower high right here, somewhere right there, and create a downtrend right here. Because you have a symmetrical triangle. Anyway, I don't want to get into all of this right now, but uh, well, I'll delete all this later. Yeah, I'll delete all this crap later. All right, crude oil. Crude oil is bouncing. Now, here's the thing about crude oil, and this is really interesting. Although crude oil is above the 50-day moving average, it's at the VWAP. You could see it's clearly not bullish right now. I would say crude oil is neutral. With that said, I have 3 or 4 energy stocks that are breaking down on my watch list. I don't have a problem you taking those trades, but you got to only pick one. Okay. Now, if crude oil starts coming up above the 200-day moving average, I would say stop taking energy stocks to the short side and start looking for energy stocks to the long side. But to me, this is not a meaningful rally, and I would really want to see a catalyst on the energy market, which we're not seeing right now. Buck says I bought physical gold and Jim Rickard is pulling a price value of 14 an ounce from 2 different pricing calculators. Um, Buck, Jim Rickard's, eh, eh, Jim Rickard's Buck. I think there are better guys out there than Jim Rickard for gold. Maybe younger too. All right. I'll leave it at that. Jim Rickard. Buck, the JP Morgan hedge fund managers who trade $1 billion worth of gold a day, they know more than Jim Rickards about what gold is going to do. Um, Gordon says not being political once election is determined. Either way, liquidity comes back into market. Actually, Gordon, it's not about the election. It's the seasonality. A lot of traders, professional traders, and hedge fund managers tend to lighten their load between May and you've heard sell in May and go away. Well, the opposite happens in November. Okay, so a lot of volatility. The only difference is volatility volume typically. So let me answer your question, Gordon. It's a good question. Volume usually volume usually comes back right when kiddies go back to school. During election, it's all pulled forward. So what you typically see is, and this is important, and this is something that I'm not hearing anybody talk about. Yeah, Benjamin, I would say the same thing. Um, so usually the liquidity, the low, and this is kind of what I was telling Dr. Serena, who's my actuary here. Um, what you typically see is a lull. For, usually, when the election is not in season, you see a lull between end of May, early June, and beginning of September. During election years, that lull is moved 1 month over. In other words, everything that starts quieting in June, you might have noticed we didn't really start quieting down until we were well into June, almost July. So everything is moved. That 3 month period is extended about 2 weeks and it's moved 1 month ahead. So it's not really about the election as much as it is about seasonality. But yeah, election plays into it. It just happens to be that that season begins and election happens to be at the same time. So to answer your question, yes, but the reason for it, Gordon, that's the only little thing there. Okay. All right. All right. So again, crude oil neutral. Neutral. So if neutral, when I say something is neutral, that means you can go long or short, but you got to only find the strongest or the weakest stocks. China. You could see China is not coming back here. This is going to put pressure on China. If we start seeing pressure on China, we may start seeing some pressure on U.S. economy. Okay. Um, as you could see, that whole we're going to revive our economy and all that. Well, I'm still waiting for that to happen. And also keep in mind that was when. When did they say that? 2 months ago, a month and a half ago. What has happened over the last month? Nothing. Nothing. And this is a descending channel. So we may break out, but I doubt it. They would have to have another huge fundamental news for that to happen. If we don't see that, that's going to put pressure on global economy. Everyone has a theory. My theory, Heather, is just follow what price is doing. Okay. Nice, Dr. Serena. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Now, we've talked about the 10-year. We talked about silver. We talked about crude oil. We talked about the bigger picture. Now, let's get into the stock market. Now, before we get into the stock market, I want to show you something important. I'm kind of jumping back and forth because this is really, really important. This is the volatility index. Okay. This is the 3 month volatility index. Do you see why I'm showing you this picture right now? Do you see this? So, what do you think happens if volatility explodes? And what do you think happens with the market if volatility starts coming down right now? What do you think will happen? William K., I think we're just getting started. William K., have you heard what I've been saying about Dell versus SMCI? If you haven't, please rewind the tape. Now that we're out of the position, I could talk about it. And if I'm out of the position, and if officially, and you're still in the position, we could still talk about it. As long as we don't have the trade going on. If we close a trade, you could talk about it until the cows come home. So if VIX breaks out, why is this? Why is this so important right now, the week of the election? Why is this probably the most important thing I'm going to show you today? Okay. Well, let's see. If VIX breaks 2328, the market's going to go down. If VIX keeps going down and staying within this channel, volatility is going to cool off and the stock market's going to go down. What am I watching today? I'm not watching the intraday. I'm watching the daily. Why? Because the only level I care about is 20, this level right here. This low 23 level. Yes. Yes. Yes, William. Good. And everybody else who was in it. Good. Exactly, Kirk. Kirk, no more. No more giving out the free trade, Kirk. I'm watching you. So yes, Tim is spot on. Exactly. So we have to watch this carefully. Why do we have to watch it in the next couple of days? Let me think. Let me think. Gee, because we have a presidential election and we have Fed speaking right here, Fed meeting right here. Do you guys understand why this is really important? And if this goes up, the S&P, which is right here, could either go below the 50-day moving average or above the quarter to date VWAP. And we're literally at a point in time where I could assure you I'm going to make a prediction right now. Cam, I'm going to make a prediction right now. If VIX goes to 26, the SPY breaks the 50-day moving average. If VIX goes and breaks the 20, SPY goes and breaks the quarter to date VWAP at 576. Good morning, Ivan. It's all good, Kirk. It's all good. I'm pretty sure you did it by accident. I'm just asking nicely for nobody to do it again. The only person who didn't do it by accident was Curious Cat. Curious Cat, if I see you here, I'm going to have a problem with you. I don't want to talk about this anymore. So again, are you going to be watching Rich, are you going to be watching Volatility and the Spy today? I bet you Rich is going to be watching Volatility and the Spy today. A lot of you are going to be watching the election. I'm going to be watching the VIX and SPY today. What am I going to be watching for? For VIX to break above or below, and for SPY to break above the VWAP, the quarter to date VWAP, or below. You know what's interesting here? We've got 470 people in this room. I'm willing to bet that 80% of you will not pay attention to what I just said, even though it's the most important thing this week. This and this right here. If I was on CNBC this morning, the only thing I would be doing is this. For 8 hours, this is what I would be doing this week. That's how important it is. But Roger, what if Trump? What if there's a coup? What if I don't care about any of that? I'm watching this and this. These two things are going to tell me more than anything else in the world for the next 2 days. Okay, good. Yep, almost. And in less than half an hour, Dr. Serena. Watch, I'm still going to get 20 emails saying, Roger, what should I be looking at? Excellent. You see, Michael, you don't need to look at DXY at TNT. You just need to look at VIX and SPY. You just need to look at this and this. It'll tell you everything you need to know. All right, let's continue. All right. Market participants awaited the outcome of the most closely contested election in U.S. history. I don't even know if that's true. Uh, I don't believe the polls 1% because I remember what happens in the polls. The polls are biased. I believe in the reaction of the stock market. That's the only thing I believe in right now, which we will talk about in a minute. A fresh batch of corporate earnings reports, Federal Reserve policy meeting this week, not later in the week. And let's see if they talk about Apple. Remember on Friday, I do not doing so much foolish. Watching this movement have saved me, helping understand trending action. Good. Rochelle, I love your sense of humor. Yes, Lawrence, the market will show you everything you need to know. Good. Remember on Friday? Remember Friday's report? Nothing here about Apple till we got all the way down here. The biggest company in the world reports earnings, and there was nothing about it on Friday's report. I thought that was lovely. I thought that was priceless. They weren't trying to calm people down. No. Yes. Market pros are watching exactly what I'm watching right now. These two things. It's a very, very quick movie right now. We're watching these two things. I hate to make it boring for you, but sometimes it doesn't have to be exciting. It could just be boring and very accurate. Exactly. What Apple? Apple? What's Apple? Remember Friday? There was nothing here on their front page. On the day earnings comes out, there was nothing about Apple. Even right now, they're very sheepish. So Amazon gained 6%, Intel gained 7%. This was really great for Friday. Team surged 19%. On the bearish side, Apple slid more than 1%. You would think Apple would be right here, right? No. 1% after the iPhone maker reported weaker than anticipated quarterly sales in China and offered a tepid sales forecast. That sales forecast is not good. And remember what I said last week. I'm not going to spend a lot of time with it because I already did last week. Last quarter, chip stocks had good numbers but bad forward-looking statements. This quarter, FANG stocks have good numbers and bad forward-looking statements. My question is chip stocks going to now report bad forward-looking statements and bad current-looking statements? Because now it's caught up to the bigger stocks. Just think about what I'm saying, and I did spend a bunch of time talking about this on Friday. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, listen to the VIP room on Friday. I spent about 20 minutes talking about it. Labor Department on Friday showed the non-farm payroll increased only 12,000. I think that had a lot to do with the hurricane. And again, I don't look at these numbers every week. I look at them at least quarterly, every 6 months. You don't want to look at them every a year to year. They get revised. They're just not that big. Now, this is interesting. U.S. manufacturing PMI fell to the lowest level in 15 months. I think that has to do with interest rates. I think that has to do with interest rates going higher. Okay. Uh, Not a good thing. Harris received some positive signs from ABC poll. I don't look at this. I only look at this. I look at this. This is much more meaningful than anything else. You see this pattern here, guys? How the stock is in a downtrend, right? And it has some news, and it gets look at this. Look at this, and then it comes back into the channel. Does this remind you of anything? Does it remind you of anything? Gets excited and then comes back into the channel? Or how about downtrend, gets excited, very low risk entry opportunity once it comes back into the channel? Very low risk entry opportunity once it becomes back into the channel. Because if it comes back out of the channel, you cut it. Because once it comes in the channel, the odds are it'll traverse the channel. Just giving you something to think about this morning. Once it comes back into the channel, it tends to traverse the channel. Okay? A little different, but you guys get the point. The best example is DJT and Baidu and Baidu. But I just wanted to show you this. Draw a channel, wait for it to get above the channel, only take trades in the direction of the channel. So you see down channel, you wait for it to come all the way down here, and then you short it. Same thing with DJT. Same thing with Tesla. I gave you graphs of Tesla weeks ago on this. Does anybody not remember me talking about here? Let me show you. For anybody who is in my Tesla, if you recall during pre-market, do you remember this? If you recall during pre-market, remember this? This was on October 28th. I drew a chart with Tesla. If you recall, during pre-market must-watch last week, I said news reactions last about 3 to 4 days on average, and then the market resumes its trend. I drew this channel on Tesla near the highs and lows, right? See this channel on Tesla? And that's the intraday chart. This is all free, by the way. I don't charge you guys for this. And then a few days later, man, I put a lot of stuff in here for you. A few days later, I said, hey, remember that post that I sent you right here? It's doing it right here, right there. And then, so don't say I didn't warn you. And there's more. Oh, no, that's it. All right. All right. Good, Buck. Good. See that? Same thing with Tesla. Once it comes back into the channel, it tends to traverse the channel. Okay. So let's come back. I think sometimes showing you a chart is better than doing a lot of talking for no reason. Market participants will be watching the U.S. Federal Reserve interest rate decision. He's going to talk about it on Thursday. They're still trying to get to 2%. Yeah, good luck. Good luck going to 2%. This is where they were trying to get to 2%, and this is where they're at right now. Think about how much easier it is to get from here to 2% than from here. They now have to go all the way back up here. It's terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. We got earnings this week. I already gave you the document. Here's the document for those that are new, that are just coming in here. This is the earnings sheet right here. Good, Buck. Good. That's the earnings sheet. And let's continue. U.S. factory orders are coming out at 10 o'clock. Europe is up 0.31 this morning with investors looking ahead to U.S. presidential election. Mining and energy stocks outperformed on Monday while technology stocks retreated. Okay, that's important. That's important because remember, they had the whole weekend. Survey released on Monday showed the Eurozone manufacturing downturn moderately in October, and we're not really doing here with manufacturing either. China closed higher, recouping some of last week's losses on expectations of additional stimulus, blah, 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 blah. Auto stocks led the gain on Monday. Broker stocks lost ground. All we have to do is look at this chart and continue drawing it. That's where China is, okay? Nice, Rebecca. So glad to hear that. So glad to hear that. Let's continue. What stocks are we going to be watching today? NVIDIA, which you guys can now trade because it took out the high. NVIDIA is being added to the Dow Jones. I think this is really a great move, and that's very good. Apple is not downgraded, but Warren Buffett is liquidating a little bit of his Apple. That may put a little bit of a wrinkle on things, and you may see some volatility on keys and Roblox. None of this really is bad news. I mean, just because Warren Buffett is selling a little Apple doesn't really mean all that much, but they still may have an earnings reaction from Friday. And remember, it's a big stock. What are the numbers on the, what are the numbers? Oh, those are expected volatility, implied volatility. Yeah, what Ben just said. All right, let's now look at levels. Okay, what are we going to be watching for today? Well, I'm going to tell you what we're going to be watching for today. We're going to be looking at the reaction between the 50. Now, folks, I don't want to talk micro view right now. This is not a time for micro view. This is a time to go out a little bit and look broad. Why a lot of stuff is happening today. Yay, 500 club. Perfect. All right, so what are we going to be looking at today? We're looking at the 8-day EMA. We're looking at the quarter-to-date VWAP, and we're looking at the 50-day moving average, and we're waiting to see if this sandwich is going to continue. If I know anything, and I still think I know something, The odds are this is going to be choppy today because it's Monday, and you guys know Monday is a rotation day. For me, Mondays are a lot like Fridays for most of you, okay? Mondays are a day where markets kind of unwind and get ready for the remainder of the week. It doesn't mean I don't trade on Monday, but Mondays are very casual days for me. They're not like really serious days. The most serious days are Tuesdays through Thursdays. Again, it doesn't mean I don't do anything on Mondays. It just means that more repositioning, swing trades, lower position size, things like that. Also, after the election is over, with volume starting to pick up, and volume is going to pick up, we're going to be holding our positions in the pit a little longer because we're going to have the waves are going to start getting bigger. And when we have bigger waves, we have more potential for some upside. Okay. Everything has to be done at the right time. Everything has to be done at the right place when it comes to the market. You will find that if you try to do your best strategy at the worst time, nothing good will happen. Okay. And if you try to do, ironically, your worst strategy at the best time, even though you're not intending to, something good will happen. So you got to play the cards when the market is telling you to play the cards. Okay. And not play the cards when the markets are telling you not to play the cards. They're going to be playing around, Cam. Volume is going to be low. They're going to be playing around doing price discovery, seeing where they can move their algos to they're going to be doing price discovery mostly today. So I don't want to give you intraday levels right now because they're not that important. Daily levels are important right now. Why? Because we have a week full of catalysts. And when you're dealing with catalysts, markets get less noisy. When markets get less noisy, you don't need to be looking at noisy data. Okay? Fred, I talked about SMCI 3 times already today. 3 times already today. 3 times. So the level you're going to be watching at is 575, 577 right here. And the level to the downside you're going to be watching for is the 50-day moving average. You don't need to be watching intraday levels right now. Just watch the daily levels right now. QQQ. The less things happening in the market, the more you have to zoom in. The more things happening to the market, the less you have to zoom in. So I know this looks very kind of a lot of stuff is going on here, but again, here's the 50-day moving average. Here is the quarter to date VWAP and the 8-day. Notice they're at the same, they're crossing each other. The area you want to see going above is roughly 491, roughly 491. Or you want to see us break this level right here, which is 483.70. Trust me, you're going to get a lot more out of me not giving you intraday levels for the next day or two. Trust me, just focus on the daily levels. There's a method to my madness. Yes, you can rewatch, but I did talk about SMCI. Fred, it's the biggest competitor to Dell. And Dell is going up and SMCI is going down, and I think SMCI is going to go down some more. And I think they have earnings this week too. Wednesday, they have earnings on Wednesday. Okay, so you don't really want to do anything crazy there. My suggestion would be to stick with Dell. You could take the opposite side of this trade with less risk on Dell, as we did in the pit last week and made money. You're welcome. Let's go back to where we were. Is this helping you guys? Is this being helpful? Is this being helpful? Tomorrow is not Wednesday. Tomorrow is Tuesday. Is this being helpful to you guys? By the way, let me post some links here. All right, here's Customer Service Live link, also known as the Cam Gustavo Show from 10 to 1. I will be doing a class almost election time. No matter who wins, we can win both ways with a strategy that doesn't require you to guess which direction the stock is going into. And I'll be in the VIP room with a lot of really hot stuff today. Thank you, Jill. My wife loved the pictures of your shepherds. We love shepherds. All right, so where are we? So again, 50-day moving average, 482, breaking the slow or breaking higher. That's what we want to see. The Dow Jones Yeah, Rochelle, you could. It's not looking bad. Dow Jones is not looking great. And you could thank the Fed and the interest rate market for that. Okay. Interest rates, interest rates, interest rates. The Dow is not looking great. If we break the 50-day moving average right here, it's not going to be pretty. And then this level right here, 416.89. I want to see us take out this level right here, which is 425.40, or the quarter to date VWAP. You see how important the quarter to date VWAP is coming up to us right now? Very, 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 very good. Very, very good right here, right around the 425 level. I want to see us break. If we keep sitting around here, it's going to be very, very bad. Very, very bad. Again, you're going to keep an eye on volatility. I'm not going to give you intraday levels. You guys know exactly what to look at right now. What about momentum levels? Well, we are near the lowest momentum levels we've had in a year. We only have 48% of stocks trading above the 50-day moving average, which means we're going to sink very hard, very fast, or we're going to bounce in the short term very fast and very hard. You see how this is right at near 50? This is why volatility right now and the SPY, hold on, are very, very important, because we're going to see either a yay or a nay. We're going to see a binary event. We're going to see this or we're going to see this. We're going to see either this or we're going to see this. This is why I'm not so curious about the intraday levels right now. So this is either going to bounce very hard, or it's going to continue moving down and bring this into this. So far, you still have 55% of stocks above the 200-day moving average, which means momentum levels are not strong, but mostly smaller caps are in the wind. But this is very disturbing, because look, 29, 39, 48, it can continue moving. So we're either going to have a very nice bounce, which will help get us right above this level, and this, and then this will start getting green again, or not. Now, what about individual levels and all the other jazz? Well, look at the SPY, 48%. You have a huge vulnerability. Why am I keep talking about the 50-day moving average and the SPY? Why do I keep talking about that? 48%. But you still have a very healthy overall market. So to me, we're either going to bounce up or down really hard right now, and it's going to impact this and this positively or negatively. We don't know which way, which is why you're going to be looking at the 50-day moving average and volatility all day today, because we don't know. We don't know. Russell 2000, very vulnerable, very, very vulnerable. What does that mean? That means interest rates. Thank you, Fed, for doing this. And instead of waiting till the end of the year, where the Russell could be going up, Russell is impacted by this substantially. Blue chips are impacted by this substantially. So you're going to see either a nay or a yay right now. And I can't be any clearer than that. NASDAQ 100, look at this, 53%. Only 53% are trading above. You have less stocks in the NASDAQ 100 trading above the 50-day moving average than you do about the 200. They're about equal. The point is, you have a lot of vulnerability right now. You have a lot of vulnerability right now. Okay? IWM. Right at the 50-day moving average. What are you going to be looking at? The 50-day moving average and the quarter-to-date VWAP. Your charts should look just like mine at this point. Why? Because you've been doing this every single day with me. And this is free, and you can copy this off. Okay? And you all have Thinkorswim. All right. What about sectors? Let's talk really quickly about sectors and momentum levels. Are momentum jiving one way or another? No. 72, 89. Not even 100 one way or the other. What does that mean? That means the market has to. Notice I keep going back to the SPY and the 50-day moving average, and I keep going to this, and I keep going back to volatility and the SPY, because everything right now is dependent on that, because we're right at the 50-day moving average. So you have very low momentum. This momentum will pick up one way or the other, depending on who is going to lead, depending on if the bulls are going to lead or if we're going to break the 50-day moving average. we have the vulnerability right now is so strong in the overall market, especially the I mean, look at the Dow, 47% are above the 50-day moving average, 55%, 51, 43, 48%. You have a lot of vulnerability here. And the question is this going to bleed into the 200-day moving average and the 100-day moving average, or is the 50-day going to be a stopper and we're going to come right back up? Well, the election and the FOMC has the answer to that question. But unfortunately, I don't. I can only tell you what the most important thing is right now. And that's exactly what I'm doing. But you don't have strong momentum one way or the other right now. And that emboldens my theory that today we're going to consolidate some more and just stay around here and try to sucker in a bunch of speculators who are betting that Trump is going to win or Biden's going to. They're making up these stories in their mind that have absolutely no relationship to reality. And by the way, I don't want to hear nonsense about how Democrats are bad for the stock market. The stock market doubled under Biden's administration. So let's keep politics and stock market away from each other as much as you can. I know it's not going to be possible this week, but please try. You figuring out who's going to win the election is not going to help you make money. That's a guarantee. It's never helped anybody I know make money. Right. You're not going to have a lot of volume till Wednesday, till Wednesday. You're not going to have a lot of volume. There's going to be a lot of and Wednesday. Remember, we quiet down, so you're going to have you're not going to have a lot. Don't look at volume. Volume is not going to help you till Thursday. This is going to be the day that volume picks up, because as we get into the election, you're going to have the FOMC meeting beginning. See, so you're going to have a decision here. Trump is going to fight the decision, or someone's going to fight the decision, or we're not going to have certainty. So that'll keep the market muted. And then you have FOMC beginning. And that lowers volume. So the odds are we're going to be keeping an eye on this and this the majority of the week. And it's going to be a very slow trading week till we know what's going on. Thank you, Carlos. I appreciate that. I appreciate you saying that. And again, you could not listen to me. You could listen to me. It's a world of free will and self-determination, right? You could do whatever the hell you want, but I'm trying to help you. What about sectors? How are sectors looking right now? And I'll get into individual stocks in a minute, and then I got to get to work. Somebody here actually has to work. I have to actually go to the office. You're like, what have you been doing for the last hour and a half? Reports the U.S. dollar is down today due to a poll in Iowa reporting Harris is ahead. Should be so important. Dennis, please, I'm telling you, do yourself a favor. Do yourself a favor. Stop. Just stop looking at the polls. The polls don't know. We don't know. We just don't know. We won't know till after. Nobody knows. Nobody has any idea except Trump. According to Trump, he's winning in every state, which is the funniest thing in the world. But again, nobody knows except for Trump. All right. So we're really mixed right now. We're all over the place. What does that mean? We are all over the place. Communication services should be next to consumer discretionary. Is it? No. Consumer discretionary should be next to technology, and so is communication services. Is it that way? No. Technology should be right next to semiconductors. Is it? No. Consumer staples should be very close to the Dow Jones. Is it? No. The Russell 2000 should be very close to the mid caps. These are so I'll tell you what I'm seeing right now. Interest rates are starting to interest rate relating stocks are trying to rally. Chip stocks or tech stocks and blue chips are really confused right now. Overall, don't try to find anything out of here. We have huge fragmentation. I mean, you do have a little bit of if you had to put a gun to my head, I would say interest rates, blue chips, technology. But it really is all over the place right now. But again, interest rates, blue chips, technology. But again, all over the place. If I had to say. So again, don't try to make heads or tails out of sectors. Go long stocks that are right here and go short stocks that are right here, and just forget about the middle right now. Okay? Pick the top 3, maybe 4, go long stocks in here. Go short stocks here. Leave this middle ground behind. Okay? Okay. Let's talk about stocks that I'm liking right now. I have a lot of stocks today, so I'm going to go through this pretty quickly. So I'm going to give you, I'm not going to give you charts. I'm just going to tell you that Murphy Oil, here, Murphy Oil, you're going to have to take notes because I don't want to spend hours on this. But notice Murphy Oil is breaking down. Oxy is breaking down. You need to write this down. APA is breaking down. These are all energy stocks. I'm only liking energy stocks that are making lows, that are breaking down. I like Murphy. I like Oxy. Uh, I wouldn't be going long energy stocks right now, and I would only be looking. Don't forget, you have to have more votes and lose the election. Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm saying I don't want to get. Uh, yes, and also other stocks. Look at Cuervo. Look at Cuervo, the chip maker for iPads. They're in the dumpster right now. Helicopter gal Dennis was not being political. He was laughing that some of us think political polls and the state could drive the U.S. dollar. Yeah, he's right. He's absolutely right. Don't exactly what Penny said. Exactly what Penny said. Yeah, don't think politics. Think markets. Okay. So a lot of energy stocks breaking down. SMCI still on my shit list. Excuse my French. Merck breaking down. Now, I gave you three or four energy stocks together, so you're not going to be foolish and buy and sell all of them. Just one to a customer. Wait for Merck to get to the A line and then sell short. CHRD. My list is fairly fertile today. What a beautiful short, right? Look at that. It's amazing how people are always looking for something, but they don't want to see what's right in front of their face. KSS. Dick's, one of my favorite stores. I got my mom gave me a birthday card to Dick's, and I need to go and buy some goodies. I wear a lot more sporting clothes than I do business clothes. I don't know if you guys have noticed or not. Oh yeah, definitely Cam and Gustavo show. We can't just give them a thumbs up. We got to post a link too, Carlos. What was that question? Do you consider utilities? No, no, utilities are utilities. Utilities and energies are totally different from each other. Don't confuse energies with utilities. Completely different sectors that that are driven by completely different factors. Utilities are driven a lot by interest rates. So Dix is a short, CNCX. I know it's the first time we're CNXC, is it? Ah, this one, concentrate. I got it backwards. I'm going to be late to work again. Are you guys going to get me in trouble with my boss and tell me I'm late to work? Tell him I'm late to work today? Clyde, where are you? Are you guys going to narc on me to Clyde? Clyde, going to get me in trouble? Dow, DOY. Now, BG, first time we've ever talked about the stock here, right? ADM. And I think they have earnings on Wednesday, Tuesday or Wednesday. Don't, so you want to be careful there. Remember, I am not screening for earnings. All right, XYL. Now I'm going to give you three stocks that I've never given you before. Are you ready? I know. It's a shock. I know. We've never talked about this stock. We've never talked about Guess. I never told you about my cousin who's married to the son of Guess. We've never had this discussion. I've never talked about this stock. And the stock is not going down since we started talking about it 2 weeks ago. And how about this one? We have never talked about this one before to the short side either. Like 4 times last week. Exactly, William. I will. I will, Ed. That's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to give my boss a snack. Exactly. So Crocs. So don't and for those of you who said, Roger, I've never heard you talk about BIIB, Guess or Crocs or BG or Merck. You were not here last week because I talked about it every day last week here to the short side. Let's now talk long side. Package. My long list is a little, it was not as easy to procure as the short list. So something to pay attention to. Package. Yeah, exactly, Kevin. Look at that. Toast, cart. I know you're waiting for those big mega cap FANG stocks, but you're not going to get them today from me. TTOW, take two, a little choppy, which means you're going to have a lot of back and forth when you buy the stock, but doesn't mean it's a bad stock. Just understand there's more choppiness with certain stocks than others. I got to get out of here. Let's not do the stock right now. I don't like how it's looking right now. I want it. I don't like how it's breaking the low. So forget the stock. The stock looks like it's going to come right back down. Actually, I don't like this stock. Taking it off my list. This stock looks good. See, if it was breaking down right now, I would be a little nervous, but I like how it's looking. Shake Shack, VRNA. And again, you're going to give every one of these stocks an hour today. Ooh, look how the VRNA is coming right to the VWAP. I like that. Right to the VWAP. Look at that. I mean, excuse me, to the quarter day VWAP. Quarter day VWAP. We like that. We like that. Uh, one second. I like stocks that are bouncing off the quarter to date VWAP. Look at that. All right. UAL. Oops. Wrong ticker. UAL. I still like the airline stocks. Now, I'm going to give you two, one to a customer, okay? One to a customer. Only one to a customer. But I do like them both. So I'm going to give you both. Now, if you have a dollar and you want to, if let's say you want to do 1,000 shares and you decide you can't pick UAL or ALK, you could put 500 shares in each one and do that. Or if I give you Oxy, Murphy, and MPC, and you want to short all three, and you have 1,000 shares, you could do 333 in each one. So you're taking three and you're making one position out of them. You could do that. I've have a lot of guys that do that. That's okay, but don't put double your position. Separate your position and put half in each one. That you could do. So if you say, Roger, I have my one unit, I'm separating it into two and I'm putting it into Alaska and UAL, that's fine. A lot of guys do that. That's fine. Guild. Guild. Beautiful stock. And FHI, last one. Beautiful stock. All right. I prefer. There's not a lot of jet. There, not all airline stocks are breaking out. Some are breaking down with airline costs and all that. So be careful with that. I prefer only the top players. I would be looking at Delta, United, and Alaskan Airline right now. All right, folks. Here's the deal. I will be live in my VIP room at noon today. Here's the link. There it is. Yeah. Rich did that last week with UAL and Delta. He couldn't pick one. Yeah, we wait today till half an hour after the out, half an hour because we have factory orders at 10. So I have a webinar on Tuesday. We're going to talk about elections. It's going to be a lot of fun. I promise you it'll be more fun than watching the election debates. I mean, than watching the polls. And don't forget, Customer Service Live, Cam and Gustavo show from 10 to 1. And folks, do yourself a favor today and tomorrow. Volatility, $VIX, right here, 23 above. And the SPY, right here. Are we going to break down or are we going to break up or are we just going to consolidate? The odds are we're going to consolidate today. The odds are based on seasonality. I will talk to you guys later. You're welcome, Jacqueline. You guys have a fantastic day. And if I missed anything at all, here is my email address. Don't send me emails asking me who's going to win the election. I have no idea, and I really don't care very much. Earnings today. Then wait till after earnings are over, Angie. I actually circled that stock for myself. I don't know if earnings are in the morning or afterwards, but you can always trade after earnings are over. If earnings are over, you could trade. That could be a catalyst, actually. All right, guys, have a great day, and I'm expecting us to be at 500 pretty much every day this week. Bye, everybody. Have a great day. I love you all. And again, please, please, please don't get political on me, and don't get political with yourself, because it's not going to be that's not how you trade this market. Okay. Bye, everybody. See you later. Bye, 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 gang.